Hello, and welcome to the FX Trader's Edge Trade of the Week Series number 7, November 30th, 2007. My name is Jody Samuels, and I run the FX Trader's Edge OTA and teach the Elliott Wave course through Trading Post Financial. My background includes being a professional currency trader with a major U.S. investment bank. I also created a one-on-one coaching program where I coach traders to reach their full potential as traders. To find out more about the Elliott Wave course or joining the OTA, please contact tradingpostfinancial.com or contact me directly at jody@fxtradersedge.com to find out more about my coaching program. This week, we're going to talk about finding the end of a trend. That's the theme for the week. It's how to prepare yourself for the end of the trend. Let me explain what I mean. This week had several reversals in many different currency pairs, including all of the Swiss pairs, the dollar-yen and the euro-pound cross. These reversals were predicated on the completion of a 5-wave sequence. The ensuing pattern, which usually materializes after a 5-wave sequence, is a corrective pattern. In all of these examples, the correction traveled several hundred pips, so anticipating this would have been a good thing. The reason why we had such a nice correction is because of the extended 5-wave sequences that we found in many of these pairs. Let me show you what I mean. We're going to start by looking at the Swiss pairs. We're going to look at the dollar Swiss. You can see the extended trend, the extended move down. In fact, the Swiss franc was one of the strongest currencies on the board, and that was reflected in all of the Swiss pairs, including the dollar Swiss, the euro Swiss, and the pound Swiss. So let's take a look at all three. How to find the end of a trend. First, you have to mentally prepare for it and do your analysis and be prepared to set up the trade. So where you see the blue circle is the end of a trend, but you might ask, well, how do you know this? And we'll talk about it a little bit. Let's look at the next currency pair, the sterling Swiss. So, how do we find the end of a trend? We look for clues such as divergences, moving average crossovers, and of course Elliott Wave counts. And once we determine that we are close to the end of a trend, we keep a close eye, a close watch out for it. You don't necessarily want to pick a bottom in case the trend continues, but you need to see your first sign of a reversal. Let's look at the euro Swiss, another example. So what is that pattern that we're going to look for at the end of the trend? That pattern is going to be the 1, 2, 3 reversal pattern for entry. We had that pattern in all of these currency pairs. If you like, you can move to a smaller time frame for earlier entry. These charts that I just showed you are the 4-hour charts, and I've circled all of the reversal patterns, the 1, 2, 3 patterns. Now let's go down to the pound Swiss. Look at the pound Swiss in more detail. In this pound Swiss pair, this was a buy trade setup. The point 1 is the low of the move. The point 2 is the first move up off the lows. The point 3 is the retracement. And then boom, we trade through that blue horizontal line at 228.62. That's the point 2. That's your entry point. Your target is 175 pips at 230.37. So your strategy is to buy on the break of 228.62. Stop loss initially below point 3. Your target is 175 pips. That's your first target just based on the 1, 2, 3 pattern. There are a few other ways to target this move. This is just one of the ways that I'm highlighting. Here is your trade. Your entry point is 228.62. Your initial stop is at 226.87. Once the first target is hit at 229.51, you can certainly move your stop up to break even. In this example, we had 3 targets, 229.51, 230.06, and 230.95. Notice the 230.95 went above the 175 pip target just based on the 1, 2, 3 setup. So now, why don't you take a look at all the other currency pairs that I mentioned and see if you can find these setups yourselves. So again, we had this setup on the dollar yen, the euro pound, the 3 Swiss pairs, and probably a few more currency pairs. So thank you again. For more information about the Elliott Wave course or joining the FX Traders Edge OTA and learning more about how to trade the end of the trend and how to look for these patterns, please contact me at jody@fxtradersedge.com. Happy trading.